On this windy afternoon, the will he, won't he speculation has continued right down to the 11th hour, and in the event Henry Shefflin is, as you know, going to start for Kilkenny in the All-Ireland hurling final, and so too is John Tennyson at centre-back, another who's been struggling with knee problems. In all, 5 changes from last year's starting team, including the Shamrocks pair, Cha Fitzpatrick and Michael Fennelly playing in midfield. Tip introduced 3 All-Ireland final newcomers to their 15 starters. Michael Cahill, who made his debut against Cork, starts at left corner back, while on the half-forward line, 2 subs last year, Gearóid Ryan and Patrick Maher, are included from the outset this time. And top marksman Owen Kelly is hoping to be the first from the South Division in Tipperary to captain his side to All-Ireland success. It's time for the action. A huge battle of hearts and minds and willpower expected. Will Kilkenny, under Brian Cody, prevail this afternoon and become the history makers? Can Tipperary produce a match-winning performance? We've got 70 minutes to provide us with an answer. Michael Wadding about to get the match underway. It's Kilkenny from left to right for this first half, and straight away back towards Tommy Welch, dodging away from the challenges, and a hefty one at that coming in from Noel McGrath. Free immediately awarded. Little quick warning there by the referee to McGrath just to cool it down a little bit. He's only 19 years of age, and this is hit by John Dalton. He hits it a long distance inside towards Richie Power. Spills around in there. Anxious moments for the backs. Conor O'Mahony getting a first possession, hitting it away down towards Lark Corbett, who's moved out onto the 40. That was anticipated, either a move out there by himself or by Noel McGrath. You remember how successful McGrath was out there against Waterford in the semi-final. Just have a look at this again here. And the free to Henry Shefflin as a result of that foul. This, I think, is the first time I could remember 2 players going into an All-Ireland final with 2 very dodgy knees.
That's right, and see Lark Corbett gone to centre forward, and John Tennyson obviously just trying to test him with the pace early on. Noel McGrath gone to full forward, and Patrick Maher out at left half forward. John O'Brien in the left corner.
Henry Shefflin in to try and open the scoring here, and he's hit it away to the right hand side, and in spite of the best attempts of Eddie Brennan to keep it in play, that's the first recorded wide of the match. It's a very blustery afternoon, mist coming down as well, very uncomfortable for the players. Breeze behind Tipperary essentially for the opening 35 minutes as Brendan Cummins pucks it out towards Patrick Maher, operating at left half forward, the number 11 in the white helmet, prodding it on there, trying to make some inroads, stopped by John Dalton, standing his ground there, back out as far as Tommy Welch, and Welch letting it fly up towards Henry Shefflin, the wind holding it up a little bit. Henry's after it, so too is TJ Reid, the team captain. Nice looking shot, good looking shot, but it doesn't quite have the distance, and Brendan Cummins plucks it down and hits it away to the right hand side, trying to put his own forwards into the attack immediately. Noel McGrath there comes back out here once more. Shane McGrath picking it up, referee blowing his whistle for that foul, and Michael Wadding pointing in the general direction of the Kilkenny goal. So Henry Shefflin's missed with a free already. Now it's Owen Kelly's turn.
Yeah, John, I think the wind is a bigger factor, than the minor matches. Really after picking up, you saw Henry Shefflin's free, couldn't get the distance, and TJ Reid there only from 30 yards out again dropped it short. So Tip will need to get a bit of a lead up by half time. So
Owen Kelly, the team captain, winner of 5 All-Stars. Really good opportunity here to put his team in front, hitting it with deadly accuracy and putting it over the bar. Scored 13 points in last year's final, 3 of those coming from play. It'll be interesting to see how he does against Noel Hickey this afternoon. Last year it was JJ Delaney, remember, who was in at full back. TJ Ryan's puck out, straight down through the centre again. Henry Shefflin the target. Coming across to cover here is Padraig Maher. Helped out over there by the other wing back, Declan Fanning, running into traffic. Into the centre of the field here, Shane McGrath in the yellow helmet, bottled up in there, and the referee says you held on too long. And it's a free once again for Kilkenny, so a second free for them at the target, and a chance for them to go level. This will be from the 45-metre line. McGrath will claim there wasn't a great deal he could have done about that, but he was surrounded immediately by very eager Kilkenny players. We're coming in to offer a towel there, just try and dry the handle of the hurley for Henry Shefflin. Missed one already, this to tie it up, and he's done the needful. So the first 2 points of the match coming from frees, from the expected sources, Henry Shefflin and Owen Kelly. Okay, still at the settling down stage.
Yeah, Jerry, you can see here, you know, Brendan Maher and Shane McGrath in the midfield trying to keep way out of the middle of the field and make room for the forwards, but Michael Fennelly getting under that one there.
This comes straight down from the tap as far as Henry Shefflin. Running into a number of players there in the middle of the park. Cha Fitzpatrick kicking it out towards Owen Larkin. Works his socks off in all matches. Blocked down well. McGrath was coming across. Out came Conor O'Mahony. Needs a second go. This time kicks it forward towards Owen Kelly. Has drifted out. Brendan Maher is trying to get away from John Tennyson. Held. And once again the referee blows his whistle, and it's going to be another free for Kilkenny and a chance for them to get or for Tipperary rather, and a chance for them to get a second point. Owen Kelly ready to take it.
Yeah, and it's been a big feature of Tip's play over the last couple of games, in particular the movement of the forward line, and you can see it again already today. They're moving all over the place, creating space, and they're looking for runners then to come through, like Shane McGrath and Brendan Maher and maybe Lara Corbett, just to pick up this breaking ball and carry it forward. And you know, interesting too, Jared, today I think 5 Tipperary players are under 21. You know, Kilkenny with a much more battle-hardened team, if you like, you know, don't tend to have, they've no under 21s in their panel at all, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, the youth versus maybe more experienced, and you know, as the game draws on, will these young players, you know, have the legs, even though they have a couple of years maybe on the panel now, but will they have that power and physical fitness required?
Well, that's as Owen Kelly put that one over. That was the block there by Shane McGrath. He injured himself in the process, and
there he is again. Yeah, there's some great, you can see that in both teams, great hunger, and that's part and parcel of the game now. You know, the level of fitness so high.
This runs on here towards Shefflin once again. Very active in the early minutes of this match, inside towards Richie Parr. Loses it, however, comes back out towards Brendan Maher. He's having a terrific season. Back out towards Padraig Maher, his namesake. Missed by Patrick Maher. There's Mahers everywhere and anywhere in the Tipperary team. John Dalton driving it a long distance. Held up on the breeze a little bit, however, as Richie Parr was coming for it, and Paul Curran got there first. Out to Brendan Maher. Big one down. Prodded on there by Garroyd Ryan, but again won by the man in the corner there, who is John Dalton, who's having a mighty season. Jackie Tyrrell, the number 4, breaking out from left corner back, fouled on the 65-metre line. Free to Kilkenny. You can see just how pumped up the players are. Every time they get a decision, they try to G up their colleagues.
Yeah, Jackie Tyrrell very comfortable out the field. But Paul Curran here, you mentioned a couple of players in that passage to play. Paul Curran having a brilliant year for Tipperary, Brendan Maher in the middle of the field, and John Dalton really, you know, keeping Michael Kavanagh off the team, who has 7 All-Ireland medals and playing very well in training.
Look how far out they brought Henry Shefflin to take this from his own 65-metre line. It's dropping short, it's touched out there. They're trying to race after it. Michael Cahill trying to get it away to the man at left half back, who was full back last year. Padraig Maher trying to measure his clearance into the middle of the field. Might work out for them, not quite, because Cha Fitzpatrick's won it back again. One of those to captain Kilkenny to one of their All-Ireland titles in the last 4 years. Tip have it again. Shane McGrath. Oh, he's given it away poorly. Put the pressure, however, on Noel Hickey, and the ball is stolen away by Owen Kelly. Immediately a group of players converge on him, and Hickey wins it back. Poor clearance, out only as far as Noel McGrath from some 45 metres out. Should be the goalkeepers, comfortably taken in there by the 33-year-old from Fenians. And PJ Ryan's clearance is a big one up towards Henry Shefflin. One back again by Paddy Stapleton this time. Look at how awkward it is for the players in possession to get enough latitude to get the ball away in this match. Very tense opening 8 minutes. Owen Larkin, high up into the clouds, batted down by Conor O'Mahony, out as far as Padraig Maher. Still he goes forward, the under-21 captain, who's a big date against Galway next Saturday night in Thurles. That's the under-21 final. Meanwhile, in the All-Ireland Senior Final, it's Owen Kelly who loses out there, smartly taken away by JJ Delaney. Well, how he loves to be out at left half back, his best position. Michael Fennelly now, inside towards Eddie Brennan. That's an important intervention. Taken away there, Eddie Brennan, and Henry Shefflin try to win the ball back for Kilkenny. Conor O'Mahony has it for Tipperary. Big clearance, huge one down. John O'Brien competing for it. It's won, however, by Tommy Welch. The referee has blown his whistle and signals that there was a foul down there, and it's going to be a free in for Tipperary.
Yeah, great passage to play there, Jerry. Owen Kelly trying to get the ball. I think it was Patrick Maher gone inside, and then pushing the back there. He lost his hurl and he wasn't taking any chances, but then the ball went up the far end of the field and Eddie Brennan was gone inside, and a very important interception again by Paul Curran, who started very well.
So a free to Tipperary, which is going to be taken by Owen Kelly. 10 years ago, when he first got a championship jersey, it was number 16, because he wasn't just an outfield player, he was also substitute goalkeeper that year. Back in 2000, 10 years on, looking for a second All-Ireland winners medal, one in 2001 of course. And he's got another point here. That's 3 for Owen Kelly. 3 from 3 in the 10th minute of the 122nd All-Ireland hurling final. Well, it's the kind of start Tipperary would have expected to make with the breeze behind them.
Yeah, it's been very tight, a lot of hard tackling and, you know, intriguing really, not as stylish as you might have expected. No score from play so far, but still very interesting.
As Shane McGrath wins that. Huge one down towards Lark Corbett. He's got it! He's scored! A goal by Lark Corbett! His 17th ever in championship hurling. A crucial one here, coming after 10 minutes. And it's 1-3 to a point. It was a huge delivery. All of a sudden, Lark Corbett was one-on-one there. Beat his man, beat the goalkeeper, put it into the back of the net. And there you saw the fullback exposed big time by Lark Corbett, beating Hickey, beating Ryan, and Tipperary with a huge boost.
Yeah, what you saw was fantastic technique by Lark Corbett. We've seen it many times over the years, but just the way he used his body, held off Noel Hickey, and a great finish. And you know, the thing that's happened here, the Kilkenny backs don't know who they're marking. They're moving all over the place. Noel McGrath was centre forward a couple of minutes ago, or not Noel. Yeah, Noel McGrath is now centre forward. Lark Corbett was gone in full from centre. Now he's over in the corner, and this movement is confusing the Kilkenny backs, and they don't know who to pick up.
Well, as you say, a lot of the Tipperary players are under 21, about 5 of them, but they have experience of playing in last year's All-Ireland final. That just might stand to them yet, as Henry Shefflin plays it in here towards TJ Reid. This could be a rapid response. Oh, what a stop by Brendan Cummins. Still in play, stopped there by Paul Curran, gets it away here, spotted the attentions there of Aidan Fogarty, makes the clearance. Big one down. Tipperary fans loving the early moments of this match. Owen Kelly over there alongside Jackie Tyrrell, and the line ball has been given to Tipperary. 2 linesmen this afternoon are James Owens and Brian Gavin.
Yeah, you see here TJ Reid, I think it was a poor effort. You know, really should have headed for the goals. He just, you know, it was a perfect height. Brendan Cummins nearly could have caught that ball. You know, they should have, I think TJ Reid took, you know, he carried it away from the goals instead of heading straight for the goals there.
Well, it didn't get there, and it's been batted out this time out towards Owen Kelly again. Well blocked down by Jackie Tyrrell. Another opportunity for John O'Brien, and that one's gone over the bar. Great piece of activity down there by Tipperary once again, as John O'Brien completes all of that. We were watching a reprise at one end. That's what happened when we got back to live pictures. PJ Ryan out from the save from Owen Kelly, and finished in the end by John O'Brien. His first point, 1-4 to a point. Kilkenny's only point, a free from Henry Shefflin.
An important hook there by Jackie Tyrrell. It could have been another goal, and Tipper all over Kilkenny at the moment. There's Henry Shefflin, trouble with his knee.
Shefflin is in difficulty as Shane McGrath plays it down. Is the gamble about to backfire? John Dalton has it, and he's on the ground, and the referee blows his whistle. It's going to be a free out. Immediate concern for Henry Shefflin. Right now Kilkenny are down to 14 players, and Shefflin with the doctor there attending to him. That's Ty Crowley. A play continues, no subs been brought in just yet. And this is going to be a major body blow if that gamble fails.
He's
quite a chance.
Definitely gone, Ger. I would think, you know, he pulled up straight away and took off his helmet. He's definitely gone.
Well, he's lasted just under 13 minutes, and he's been forced to walk across the field. He's going off, and he's going to be replaced now by Michael Rice, not unexpectedly. So number 19, Michael Rice, comes in. It's hard to believe that Brian Cody took that chance.
Well, I don't. I think he had no, you know, once he thought he was right, I think he had to start him. He couldn't bring him on and have him go off. So it hasn't really caused him any harm. It's not his fault to score. They're 6 points behind at this stage.
Well, this was the point he did score earlier on. Well, we're not to see that one. This was the injury, and this is where he hobbled away from it. Free to Kilkenny on this near side. Richie Power will take over the freeze, and Richie Power has driven it to the right, and he's put it wide. That's a second wide now by Kilkenny. So Henry Shefflin, having scored the only point for Brian Cody's team so far in the match, is forced out of the game into the 14th minute now, and Kilkenny find themselves 1-4 to a point behind, but playing against the wind, I'll remind you. And that was their choice because they won the toss. Here comes Michael Fennelly. Nicely played into space here. Richie Power's after it. Paul Curran's in difficulty. Power still gets there. Trying to slip it inside towards TJ Reid. Comes back out towards Eddie Brennan. 3 players going for it, and they win it, but the referee saw a push, and it's going to be a free in for Kilkenny, and a second point chance coming up for them.
Yeah, John, I know it's only 15 minutes into the game, but it's a crucial period now for Kilkenny. You know, Henry gone off 6 points down, really not creating many scoring chances. You know, I don't think they had a shot really apart from TJ Reid's shot there for the goal. So, you know, the resolve really going to be tested, and strong breeze. So it's really, you know, Tipperary have really had a great start, and one that, you know, really the young players especially one of the young players really need it.
So it's 10 minutes since they scored, so now Kilkenny needing this point by Richie Power. Both of their scores coming from place balls. And there's Henry Shefflin looking a very, very uncomfortable figure up there in the stand. Very, very disappointed. All the hard work that he's put in, tremendous courage on his part to try and get himself ready, but it just didn't work out. Puck out. Well caught. Brilliantly taken by J.J. Delaney. Well, Henry's absence now might even serve as a rallying force to do it for Henry. Owen Larkin. Big one up towards Eddie Brennan. Trying to break it down to an incoming forward, and that one is Aidan Fogarty. And Fogarty, his customary style. Very difficult character to mark, his unorthodox style of approaching a shot. But that was bouncing around there, was broken down, and Taggy was anticipating, and the former man of the match in an All-Ireland final some 4 years ago gets his first point in this final. Tipperary back. Brendan Maher now firing in a shot from 50 metres out, and that one has gone straight between the post and over the bar. Great score by a really fine young player, Brendan Maher, just 21 years of age.
Yeah, and great vision there by Noel McGrath. You know, I really like him at centre forward. He's a great man to throw the ball around, sees everything happening in front of him, and great point by Brendan Maher, as we said earlier, under 21 and having a great year in the middle of the field for Tip.
PJ Ryan's puck out. Brendan Maher goes to compete for it with Cha Fitzpatrick. It's picked up by another Maher, Poring Maher, on as far as Noel McGrath. Deciding to take it further. Inside to Brendan Maher, looking around him, well blocked down by Michael Rice. An all-star last year, didn't start this afternoon, but in the action in the last couple of minutes, and that time the referee penalises Kilkenny, and it's going to be a free for Tipperary, calling across Michael Fennelly.
I think it's Jackie
Tyrrell. It's Jackie Tyrrell, yeah.
Frontal charge there, and we think we've seen Jackie maybe in the last couple of games getting booked for similar incidents. He looks like he's booked again. Just noting him here.
Yeah. So his name recorded by the referee, mentally at least anyway, and any more of that and he could anticipate trouble. The two medical officers out there, Kevin Delargy and Peter Merchant, attending there to the stricken Brendan Maher. Not alone a candidate for Young Player of the Year this year, possibly a candidate for Senior Player of the Year as well. He was sandwiched, and Jackie was the one who actually caught him with the frontal charge.
That's probably a yellow card. To be fair, he's looking to get away with that.
Well, we've seen the yellow cards issued for that particular type of foul.
But he knew what he was doing. There was no attempt to play the ball, and he took him out of it.
Owen Kelly's going to take this. 65 metres out from the target. Breeze over his shoulder. 3 points already scored from frees. You can make it another one. So 4 for Kelly. Point for John O'Brien, point for Brendan Maher, and of course the goal for Lar Corbett as well after 10 minutes. So 1-6 to 3 points.
Yeah, Owen Kelly again, you know, so consistent with those frees. In the semi-final missed a couple, but you can see tuned in fully today, and it started very, very well.
Broken down well here. John Tennyson sliding in for that one. Michael Rice trying to help out. Very difficult to retain possession. Cha Fitzpatrick now over his left hand side, inside towards Richie Power, breaks away from Paul Curran's hands, comes back out. Larkin picks it up brilliantly, instinctively carrying it forward, dished out to Eddie Brennan, miss hit. The goal king was lurking with intent, looking to add to his very impressive collection of 26 championship goals so far. Came out to him there, miss-hit it.
And I feel the referee played, this advantage rule we talk about that there isn't in hurling, but I think Owen Larkin was fouled there, and the referee, in fairness to him, it was a goal, everyone would say right decision, but here's the first shot puck up by Brendan Cummins, but that backfired. I think Kilkenny should have got a free there and tapped it over.
Well, now what can they do with the short puck out? They've made some headway, trying to bypass the half back line of Kilkenny ultimately, but it all breaks down, and it breaks down badly. That wasn't terribly well done. Free to Kilkenny. First time they've attempted that short puck out, and it really got bottled up about 50 metres out from their own goal, where they fouled Richie Power.
Yeah, it was great work by Richie Power, but our Tips have done well on the puck outs. I think they should puck it out to their half hours, try to keep it in front of them rather than those short ones, because Kilkenny forwards are very, very strong in the tackle.
If you go back to last year's tape of the final, they won a lot of the puck outs last year.
Yeah, they won an awful lot of ball, and keep it away from. I'd be playing it down the centre on Noel McGrath and keep it away from JJ Glennie and Tommy Walsh.
Richie Power, one pointed free already from one taken. And from a nice central position, he makes no mistake. So incrementally Kilkenny tried to eat into Tipperary's lead, and it's 1-6 now to 4 points. Brendan Cummins playing his 62nd championship match today, pucking it out, well claimed by John Tennyson. Very important figure in that halfback. That's beautifully picked up there by Michael Rice, and the substitute sends it in towards Eddie Brennan, but it's whipped away from him by Michael Cahill. Out here, where Garrow O'Brien feeds it on towards Brendan Maher into the inside forward line. John O'Brien getting there. It's Owen Kelly, and Kelly sweeping it out with his hand back to Brendan Maher, and Brendan Maher trying to get it inside the right hand post, and he succeeds. A second point by the midfielder. Great contribution. Well, his work rate is really impressive. Started by Owen Kelly there after he got in there ahead of John O'Brien to get that back out as far as Brendan Maher and over the bar.
Yeah, and the difference in first touch, Eddie Brennan missed the ball down the far and ended up great first touch by Owen Kelly, and a ball out to Brendan Maher and over the bar again.
Well, in spite of the slippery conditions, we've seen some lovely wristy hurling, lovely one-touch hurling to get the ball under control. Here comes Michael Rice. Foul this time by Michael Cahill. It's going to be a free for the school teacher from St. Kieran's College in Kilkenny, as the Tipperary manager Liam Sheedy calls the shots. Free which will be taken by Richie Power. Richie's got 2 points from frees already in this game. 2 out of 4 for Kilkenny. But it'll keep them in touch in much the same way as their minor team kept in touch against Clare before eventually in the second half running out winners. And that is just outside. A missed opportunity by the 24-year-old from Carrickshock. Not what Brian Cody ordered. But he won't panic. Puck out by Brendan Cummins. Trying to target John O'Brien, but it's won by John Dalton instead. Back towards Tommy Welch. And the referees noting the linesman's call here. Ball had gone out over the sideline. Linesman is James Owens from Wexford. I can remember Michael Watting was the linesman in a league final last year in Thurles, and he spotted something similar. A ball going out over the line when Henry had it. It ended up in the Tipperary goal that day. Here's PJ Ryan. Back out as far as Michael Fennelly. Having a great season. One of those days when you have to work hard. The conditions are difficult. Work rate will be important, and both of these teams know all about that. Eddie Brennan. Back out. Eventually picked up by TJ Reid. Reid steadying himself, having missed a goal chance earlier on, slips it beautifully and gracefully over the bar. His first point of this match. Lovely, easy, relaxed style of hitting, and 1-7 to 5 points. Again, the referee allowed him an advantage because he was being held back by the back, but he got into the clear and made the score. So 5 points the margin. from the puck out towards Garroyd Ryan. The ball flies over his head, however. Owen Kelly's over there to try and pick it up, shortens the grip on the stick, inside to Noel McGrath, trying to make some inroads here, trying to go by one or two backs. He's succeeded, kicking, and he's kicked the ball wide. It's Tipperary's first wide, but it was a glorious chance for him to got something out of that.
Absolutely brilliant ball by Owen Kelly again. He's having some game. Every ball is glued to his hurl, and Noel McGrath, he did everything right, got inside his man, and I know he plays a bit of football as well, but bad wide.
And he managed to do all the hard work, and as you say, Owen Kelly setting it up beautifully for him. PJ Ryan's puck
they're the chance they need to take, Jerry. Kilkenny aren't playing well, and Tipper are having all the scoring chances, and they need to take them now because Kilkenny will settle eventually.
Padraig Maher inside, picked up here by John Tennyson. And Tennyson, again, one of those players who defied what the medical people had been saying some weeks ago, that he hadn't a chance of playing for the rest of the season, but he's made a very brave and courageous bid to get into the final and played in this final. He's doing well so far.
Yeah, Jared, big free here I think for Richie Power. He's missed two out of four I think since he's taken them, and Henry missed one earlier as well. If they had those three, normally they don't miss frees, and there is a strong breeze, so it'll be interesting to see can he get the distance with this, but even for his confidence it's important, right in the middle of the field.
Well, just look at where the ball is positioned, right in that little centre line, right in the middle of Croke Park. 82,000 people watching, hundreds of thousands watching elsewhere on their TVs. Richie Power strikes, low trajectory, good accuracy, and over the bar. 3 for Richie Power, 6 for Kilkenny, and now there's 4 points between the teams. Not quite looking as black as it did for Kilkenny earlier on when Lark Corbett got his goal after 10 minutes. Well caught, JJ Delaney, brilliantly taken. Beyond Michael Rice, picked up here by Conor O'Mahony. Rice is on the 40, direct swap for Henry Shefflin. Pressure on the backs, comes out towards Tennyson again, playing well, slipping it with the hand as far as Michael Fennelly, trying to burst forward, challenged there by Shane McGrath. Foul, the referee has decided, and because there was a little protest by Tipperary, the ball has been brought forward, and it's now a more scoreable position for Kilkenny and for Richie Power.
Yeah, Kilkenny really begin to get going. Michael Fennelly on his side of the field, out hurling Shane McGrath at the moment, and Brendan Maher giving Cha a hard time at this side of the field. But John Tennyson, you mentioned a few minutes ago, in the last 10 minutes really has come into the game at centre half back, and he's closing down all the avenues there, and Michael Fennelly himself driving Kilkenny forward over the last 10 minutes, and this is free now if it goes over, just a goal between them.
Again, a very central position. Probably got his confidence going at this stage, should have anyway, he can afford to because he's striking it beautifully. They're not easy frees by any manner of means. So a goal, as you say, Michael, between the teams, 1-7 to 7 points.
Quick puck out by Brendan Cummins there, but the ref is saying he hadn't blown the whistle. You can't restart the game until he decides. So that's...
So plan A might have been a short puck out. Plan B was a kind of a half between a mid and a long puck out, and it really didn't work out initially, but this time Paddy Stapleton's been fouled. There's a degree of uncertainty about those puck outs.
But that's a terrible decision, Gerard. Owen Larkin was fouled on the way, and I thought it was a yellow card for Paddy Stapleton. He just took him out, he was going through. We'll watch it again here. Owen Larkin breaks onto the ball here, and I don't think Paddy Stapleton just... Oh no, it wasn't, there is no shoulder, but here now, he's held back here, and there's a free, caught around the head, and a free out given. I don't understand that.
I can only assume he's saying for holding onto the ball too long, but he didn't hold onto the ball too long.
No, he didn't. No, he was trying to get away. In fairness to Paddy Stapleton, when I see the replay there, he met him square on.
Yeah, that's okay.
There was nothing wrong with that. Good cornerback play.
Brendan Cummins will take this free, just inside his own 45-metre line. Oh, it's a huge one. Oh, it's over the bar. His first ever point in championship hurling. What a day to do it. The breeze was behind him, but it needed the accuracy, brilliant accuracy.
That's one to Brendan, that he's played a lot of times for Tipperary. He won't forget that one for a long, long time. We see Stephen Cluxton in the football taking 45s for the start of the trend.
And here comes Garroyd Ryan. Haven't seen too much of him so far. It drops short and PJ Ryan collects and delivers back up the field again, putting the pressure on Declan Fanning over there. Runs on towards Hayden Fogarty. Got a point already in the match. Two Tip players converge on him. Paddy Stapleton was caught by the neck. Down he went. Free awarded. Not much doubt about that.
Brendan Cummins coming again to take it. No.
Well, the player who caught him here, I think, was
Michael Rice, yeah?
Michael Rice. Or was it Rice? Yeah, it was. And Brendan Cummins decides, if I can do it once, I can probably do it again. So he's ready to take another long-range free.
This could hit the corner flag.
Henry watching. It's going to drop short this time. It could still be very dangerous. Across they come here. It was JJ Delaney who cleared it out. Collected here well by Brendan Maher. Trying to get a hand pass and a return from Padraig Maher. Noel McGrath eventually on there as far as John O'Brien, and that's pinpoint accuracy, and it's over the bar in a second for John O'Brien, and it's a goal and 9 to 7 points. Tipperary leading with 5 minutes to go to half time, and John O'Brien completed a fine move, and Tipperary are looking confident.
They are, and John O'Brien, I think he's only got those couple of balls, put them straight over the bar, and he had a brilliant game the last day, and you know, Hurling taking his chances very, very well again today.
Michael Cahill left that one because it's TJ Reid who picks it up for Kilkenny. Space at a premium. Out to Shane McGrath. Again, closed down by TJ Reid. So difficult to get any kind of attitude whatsoever in this match. Sheer intensity of the game. Michael Cahill trying to feed it back out, but he gives it away to Richie Power of Kilkenny, and Kilkenny trying to make some inroads to Richie Power. Back out again to Michael Fennelly. This way and that, and the referee says thrown, and it's got to be a free out for Tipperary.
And Jerry, you can see the way the game was gone. You know, the tackling of both teams just incredible. You see Michael Fennelly here. Yeah, good decision by Michael Wadding, right on the spot, and definitely threw it. We had 4 Tipperary players around, and Noel McGrath nearly back there, even though he's playing at centre forward as well. And great pressure by Tipperary.
So once again, Brendan Cummins. This is a good deal longer. He's going for it, and it's stopped by the other goalkeeper, PJ Ryan. Goal to goal. Oh, it's left behind here to Padraig Maher. In the end, Gearóid Ryan with a snapshot high up into the air, inside the right-hand post and over the bar. Another for Tipperary, and a first for Gearóid Ryan. So 6 points between the teams. Kilkenny had closed it to 4, but I needed to 3, but now back out again. Very good spell by Tipperary before half-time as they try to maximise their advantage. But Owen Larkin's raiding inside here to Power. Oh, what a goal! Richie Power gets his 6th ever in the championship, his first this afternoon, and that's a goal and 4 for the man from Carrickshock. 3 points the margin. 3 minutes to go to half time, and it started with Owen Larkin raiding. Look at the good run here, an intelligent run made by Richie Power, and a clinical finish to the back of the Tipperary net. It's some match. It's 110 to 1-7.
And that's as good a goal as you're ever going to see. A brilliant run by Larkin, and what a finish by Richie Power. A brilliant run away to make the space, and then it finished at the top of the net. And I was just going to say Tipperary deserved their 6-point lead, and next thing Kilkenny are back to 3 again.
Some contest. Padraig Maher up into the air, down it comes, and Tennyson competes for that one with McGrath. Comes back towards Larkin again. Fumbled that time by Richie Power, but it was difficult to contain it. And again the referee goes in, and this time I think he's got to throw the ball in. Wow, it's been up and down the park. One team getting back to within 3 points, another team blowing it out to 6, and then back to 3 with a goal. Wonderful contest. Tipperary trying to win possession here from inside their own 45-metre line, but they've lost it to TJ Reid and the Kilkenny captain, who will be hoping to lift the Liam McCarthy Cup at the end of the contest. By the time we reach 5 o'clock, is fouled, and it's going to be a free in for the Cats, and the referee wants to do a little bit of talking. He's calling across Shane McGrath.
But that was a harmless tackle. He's going to give him a yellow card. Jackie Turrell, frontal charge, black book. You know, there's no consistency in that.
I'm sure the referee knows his name pretty well, but he asked for it anyway, and Shane McGrath gave it, and now he gets a yellow card.
I'm totally bemused by that. Very, very strange.
Free into Kilkenny at the end of it. Richie Power will take it.
Kilkenny just raising their intensity there in the last, you know, they look to be just settling really into the game. It's been so fast, so furious. Tipperary have been moving all over the place, tackling and hunting and tacks, and I think it's taken Kilkenny a while to get up to that intensity. All of a sudden 6 points down, now back to 2 points, and you have to say that they'll be happy going into half time, you know, with Tipperary maybe having dominated most of the first half.
There were 2 points between the teams going in at half time last year also. It was Kilkenny who led then by 13 points to 11. John Dalton catches that brilliantly. And back up to the forwards. You can afford to hit it in towards Richie Power in the form he's in. Not to mention Michael Rice, who loves to raid. Normally a midfield player, but we've seen him play in the half forwards in the past, and he's done a right good job here. Feeling the pain a little bit of that as he went forward courageously, made it his. There'll be an added 1 minute of play at the end of the opening 35 minutes, where the teams have created 28 scoring chances. Kilkenny creating 15 and Tipperary 13. It's advantage Tipperary, but only by 2 points right now, and it'll be narrowed to 1 if this goes over.
The intelligence of Richie Power again there, you know, high ball in. Paul Curran has been doing well in there, up at the hurl, knocked it down, and Michael Rice running through, fouled, and another easy enough free you'd expect to tap it over the bar.
He took maximum care as well, he might, because he's now got a goal and 6 points. The 6 points have come from frees once he took over that chore from Henry Shefflin. The goal after 32 minutes. Henry with a smile on his face. The short puck outmade once again by Tipperary. Paddy Stapleton bottled up. Now they've got to be clever in their use of possession as the referee blows his whistle at the end of a first half where the crowd rises to the two teams. Richie Power has been the scorer-in-chief for Kilkenny, who played against the wind for the opening 36 minutes as it happened. They'll be much happier, I think, going in, because they'll have that win behind them. Owen Kelly got 4 points, all of them from frees. Henry Shefflin went off with an injury after just about 15 or a little under 15 minutes, with the return of the knee problem once again that's plagued him in recent weeks. And at half-time here at Croke Park, in the 122nd All-Ireland Hurling Final, there's just a point between these teams. The half-time score, it's Tipperary 1 goal and 10 points, Kilkenny 1 goal and 9.
Just a point. We knew it was going to be close. Back here in our Croke Park studio, we have Cyril Farrell, Tomás McCahey and Gerlach Nan. Cyril, Tip, I suppose you'd have to say, did 70% of the hurling in that first half. Just a point, in it?
Yeah, you'd be nice to Kilkenny. Probably did 80%. Great game of hurling. Tip took the game to Kilkenny straight away. Got on top at one stage, led by double scores. Henry went off early on. Kilkenny seemed to be kind of in disarray going over, but typical Kilkenny, they hung in. But the hurling and the scores got by Tipperary from long range have been unreal. They've been really up for the game, and they are up for it. But like Kilkenny are going in, and even though they're a point on at half time, Brian Cody kind of saying to them, look lads, we didn't hurl at all, we're in the game. Now
Liam weathered the storm, basically.
Yeah, Liam Sheedy won't be happy. They should be a lot more up than the 1 point, but still they're a point ahead, and it's still all to play for. But like Kilkenny will be the happier of the two, because they were completely beaten for a lot of that game, and yet they're only a point down.
I know, that's what they're like, isn't it? We're going to take a short break. Further reflection on that first single point. 1 goal and 10 to 1 goal and 9. Cyril Farrell, Tomás McCahey, of course, and Gerlach Nan here in our studio. Tomás, the first few minutes were tense as we would expect, but then Tip got into it, and they really did make the tonic start, the start they would have wanted to this game.
Yeah, and defensively, Michael, they were very good as well. You know, the full back line, the half back line, Padraig Maher, Paul Curran at full back. I mean, they were winning all the high ball that was coming in around the square. They were winning the breaking ball, and they were driving play on, and they were actually getting quick ball up into their forward division as well. And I mean, Kilkenny looked to be in trouble in that first 10 or 15 minutes. And you were saying for Tipperary, tack on a few points and the goal chance will come, you know. And no better man when the goal chance comes than to see the likes of Larry Corbett 1-on-1 inside in the square, you know. And we haven't seen any more of that though from Tipperary in that first half either, you know. And here's it's a high ball by Shane McGrath in the middle of the park. And look, You have Lauren Corbin inside, isolated with Noel Hickey and no better man in that position. But Tip never actually doubled up on that. They haven't gone down that road. I mean, Lara's have to come away out to the half-forward line because they started to struggle in key areas in that half-forward line there in the last 10 minutes of that first half, where you saw Tommy Walsh coming into his own, you saw JJ Delaney coming into his own as well, you know. So, I mean, it's something I think Tipperary will have to rectify for the second half. If you have quality players like that inside, you must get ball in there, you know. So, and that's down to your half-forwards outside, winning possession and working it inside.
Tip did a bit of fouling. They let Kilkenny get scores from frees, and then, of course, if Lar Corbett is the man to get a goal for Tip, then Richie Power is the man to get a goal for Kilkenny.
They're repeating the faults they had in the semi-final. Okay, we look at the goal here, which is, you know, running at the defence. That is the secret with Kilkenny. That's what most of that scores come from. Great ball here, and then Richie Power drifting off his man, not being followed close enough, gets a clear shot at goal. And really, Richie is the man that has dragged Kilkenny back into this game. But just going back into other things again.
Yes.
Right. Tipperary are going back. The short puck outs. They've been caught for 2 points, 2 frees from the short puck outs. Absolutely ridiculous. The one time they hit long ball into one before, if you watch that long ball coming in, you'll see JJ Delaney, you see Tommy Welch, they all racing back. But before they could get a chance to get back in, the ball had come to a 1-on-1 situation with Lar Corbett. Now what does Lar do? He drifts out around 50 yards out the field. He's getting no ball out there because Garrod Ryan and Pádraig Maher, Garrod Ryan has got a point, but they haven't won a ball between them. Tipperary are very slow. Everybody knew this was their weakness. They're very slow to make the changes in the half-forward line. They have Seamus Canlan, they have Pat Burke, they have Seamus Hennessy, they have numerous options for there. Now, unless they make fast changes, JJ Delaney has now got his confidence up. Tommy Welch is back into the game. Even Tennyson is playing very, very well. And you know the worst thing of that is, there's no one coming from the half-forward line. Sorry, Tomas, just once again. There's no one coming from the half-forward line to collect the loose ball at midfield. Kilkenny are picking up all that loose ball because Larkin is drifting out and picking up the loose ball there, and from that setting up attack.
I mean, you don't mind seeing Lar Corbett coming out, Charles. No. You said he's coming out, but somebody must go in. Somebody has to go in around the square. We saw PJ coming out there a few times, ball into his hand, nobody in around him, you know.
So one of the things, sir, that Tipperary did well in that first half was apply the pressure. I mean, they're really hunting for it tigerishly.
You'd have to say for the first 20 to 5 minutes they really put the pressure on Kilkenny. The tip backs were absolutely fantastic. Pádraig Maher wing back, Paul Curran full back, the cornerbacks, they were all tearing into everything. You'll see a bit of here, like you'd imagine that Kilkenny are going to get loose here, but like who can block, and here's Kilkenny driving forward again, hand pass, he pulls there for a little kind of, there's pressure on there, so he actually, whether he throws the ball or not, well, he more or less did, and the ref pulled it for it. But like that's all applied pressure by Tipperary. They did this in great, like for the first 25 minutes. Now to do that though, you have to be very, very fit, and they keep doing it. It's very, very hard because like Kilkenny aren't All-Ireland champions for nothing. Like, and the few minutes before half time, every principal game here this year, Michael, the few minutes before half time is vital. The few points that the team gets before half time can win or lose, and Kilkenny have got these few points to come back into the game that we're really out of.
Ironically, we thought Tennyson might be the man whose injury would come against him in his role at centre back. It was Henry that broke down. Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't a collision or anything like that. I mean, it was just a straight pull up on the knee, and it's sad to see something like this, and we can see it here again. Look, it's an unfortunate thing, I suppose. I mean, everybody kind of knew, every specialist that knew, right, that's the nature of a cruciate ligament injury. You might get 60 minutes out of it, you might get 70 minutes, but you might only get 5 or 10 minutes out of it as well, you know. You can nearly see it going under him, and that's unfortunate for Henry Shefflin. And I mean, the round of applause that he got going off the field from both sides. I mean, it was just fantastic to see, and I mean, but just going back to that pressure thing again, putting pressure on is great, and blocking down and all that's great, provided you do it with discipline and you don't give away the frees. Kilkenny have only got 2 or 3 points from play. They've got the goal from play. All the rest has been from frees, and Richie has missed 2 frees, and before that Henry had missed a free. Tipperary have got to tackle with complete discipline, chase the man, close them down, but don't give away the free. The free is a certain point. Okay, we're going to take a break here on the programme, the second half of this year's August. Let's get their thoughts on it. They're with Marty Morrissey.
Thank you very much, Michael. Indeed, before the game, Paul Flynn was going for Kilkenny, Declan was going for Tipperary. I wonder if their thoughts changed. Have you been impressed with Kilkenny?
Well, in fairness, Marty, they've come back strong. You know, Tipperary hit them with everything there in the first quarter of an hour, and Lar Corbett got a great goal. But Kilkenny have settled down now a bit. Michael Rice has come in there centre forward, and they're winning all the breaks, I feel, in around the full forward or the full back line. Tipperary are breaking the ball out, and the Kilkenny forwards are making the most of it. And I think Tipperary will have to stop fouling or be more disciplined in the second half.
In terms of Tipperary, Declan, Lar Corbett seems to be a real threat, but I get the feeling they're not feeding the ball often enough to him.
No, they're doing an awful lot of short passing around the middle third, and again, for the conditions, it's not really conducive to doing that today. I think they need to get more direct ball. They're losing ball in contact, and as Paul said, they're doing an awful lot of fouling. So I think, especially when it's starting to rain even heavier there now, they're going to have to just do a lot more direct hurling, because they have a very, very dangerous full forward line, as we saw when they get the ball in there. So that's their aim for the second half. The talk down here is that you would feel that Tipperary might be trying to avoid Tommy Walsh, because there's nothing going down that wing. Well, I'm sure obviously he's in line for hurler of the year, and he has been for many years. So yeah, definitely they're trying to keep it away from him. But I mean, you know, they've a lot of movement in there. So let's just pump the ball into the full forward line, especially, not just down on top of the half back line, but there's some of the short poke outs as well, a couple of turnovers. That'll rise Kilkenny. So you just want to keep it simple, especially on the day like this. Get direct ball into the full forward line. Second half, are you still sticking with Kilkenny to win this All-Ireland? I think it's going to be very tight, Marty. I think Tipperary will actually enjoy playing into the wind. The ball will hold up more for their more classier forwards. They can use a bit of speed, so I wouldn't be surprised if Tipperary threaten a goal more in the second half. But I think experience could well carry the day for Kilkenny. In a word, Declan, Tipperary? I'll still stick with Tip. Good man. You never know, this could well be a draw. Let's go back to Michael.
All right, well, Marty, Paul and Declan are 3 of the 81,765 here at Croke Park, and the rain, or the drizzle I suppose you'd have to call it, is getting heavier. You might not really realise it on our cameras, but oh, very nice. That's Kilkenny and Tip, I think, sharing a moment with the looks of it. And it's really, as I said, a very, very soupy drizzle at this stage, and has to be slippy down that pitch now.
No doubt about that, you know. But look, it's going to be the same for both teams, Michael. And the one guy that has impressed me in that first half in that Kilkenny line has been Owen Larkin, right? And I think he's the man that's taken up the mantle a little bit now that Shefflin has gone, and he's the guy that is breaking the gate line. He's breaking the tackle, and he's getting inside. And I know you're saying about the discipline and the freeze and stuff like that, right? But what Tipperary can't afford to do is when he gets inside that line and they're committing somebody like the Richie Power goal, there's a hand pass gone inside and there's a sign in the back of the net, you know. So I mean, I know they fouled, and they fouled maybe stupidly at times and stuff like that as well. But it's better than actually letting the goal scoring chances inside, because they did create goal scoring chances.
And Eddie Brennan had a goal chance.
He had a great goal chance, yeah, and again set up by Larkin once more, you know, because Larkin's work rate, coming out around the middle of the field, great ball in here. Now, when the ball breaks here, you know, 3 Tipperary players had a chance to win it, but look at the upper body strength of Larkin, and sets the ball out. Eddie always crosses over to that corner. Now, I suppose Eddie, 9 times out of 10, he'd put that ball in it. He took the fast option of not rising and just having a go at it. Ball like that, very, very difficult, especially on a wet surface, very, very difficult to score. But don't they look really dangerous when they attack down the centre? When Larkin is coming through the centre, if Michael Rice started coming through the centre, that is where they really look dangerous. And you see Noel McGrath in the first, he had a ball like that, went straight through. He had options left and right, and what do you do? Kick it, and kicked it wide. You know, they're able to pick out the man. The big strength of Kilkenny, when they're under pressure, men all around them, they still have to go.
All ready to go for the second half. It's back to Ger Canning and Michael Duignan.
The breeze may be dropping a little bit. That's something I've noticed as we start the second half, and it is Tipperary who are going to be put under pressure immediately here. Michael Rice. Oh, he's made a lot of ground. Trying to feed the ball inside there towards Michael Fennelly, who'd run forward from midfield. Backed by Aidan Fogarty. Point behind Kilkenny has started the second half. That's a lovely ball across from Larkin as far as Richie Power. Stopped there with difficulty by Brendan Cummins, and dispatched back out here as far as Conor O'Mahony. Remember, it's a Kilkenny championship team, unbeaten in the last 21 championship matches, going for 5 in a row. Brendan Maher and Tipperary trying to foil that and win their first title since 2001 themselves. Lark Corbett, the goal scorer in the first half for Tipperary, sending it in where Noel McGrath's got into the inside forward line. John O'Brien here, second time of asking, wins possession. Right in the corner there, angling this across. Couple of players to aim at. Not the greatest of balls. Patrick Maher had to go back to forage. James Fitzpatrick is there for Kilkenny anyway. Helped out by John Tennyson. Trying to slip it out towards Tommy Welsh. Didn't see a lot of him, as the fellow was saying in the first half. Jackie Tyrrell, big one down. Down towards Richie Power again, breaking it. Anticipating, however, is Michael Cahill, the UCC student, comes across here from left corner back. Helped out by Declan Fanning. Trying to slip away from the challengers. Losing it. Richie Power looking very sharp. Chance to tie it up here. Going for a shot. Hits the post. Comes back down to Eddie Brennan, who hasn't scored so far. Had a goal chance in the first 35 minutes fumbles as he tries to take it up, and there was a trip then in the end, and it's going to be a free out. Eddie protests that his jersey was being pulled, but I think the referee saw his boot coming out as well.
Yeah,
you are.
Nothing really going well. Nothing going for Eddie Brennan so far. You know, not a sharp. Lovely bit of skill by Brendan Maher there over the hedge. You don't normally see that. You know, and off the hurling straight out to Lara Corbett. Beautiful skill.
So Brendan Cummins will take this. John O'Brien and Owen Kelly in the inside forward line as we look the other end of the field. Brendan Cummins now hitting at a fair old distance, dropping 20 metres out from the Kilkenny goal. Reacting to it there was Garroyd Ryan, sending it to the left, however, and he's put the ball wide. It's just the second wide of the match for Tipperary. One in the first half and now one at the very beginning of this second 35 minutes.
Yeah, see Eddie Brennan operating out at right half forward now, and you know he's been taken off in the last couple of matches, and just maybe confidence affected a little bit, and it'll be interesting to see, you know, how long he gets there.
Here's JJ Delaney. Chop Fitzpatrick now. Huge one towards Richie Power, full back under pressure, immediately Power in there, support arriving, and it again picked up by Padraig Maher. Brilliant play by the man who was full back last year, left half back this afternoon. Mention of left half backs, here's JJ Delaney, blocked, and that ball's gone out over this near sideline. Shane McGrath probably still wondering why he was yellow carded in the first half, and indeed many of the Tipperary followers as well.
Yeah, Richie Power proven a real handful inside. He had a couple of good chance of points since half time, didn't get them, and a great block down now by Shane McGrath. And TJ Reid very good on the line balls, and the win behind him here is a good chance of putting this over.
He's caught it beautifully, bang on cue, he's put it over the bar, and the teams are level for the second time. What a fantastic score that was from the sideline by TJ Reid, the 22-year-old from Ballyhale Shamrocks. 110 for Kilkenny, 110 for Tipperary. From the puck out. Pressure in there immediately on John Tennyson's half-back line. Comes out here towards Michael Fennelly. Tommy Welch knocking it forward comfortably under it was Declan Fanning. Took it down beautifully. Away off his left-hand side. Over to the unmarked Brendan Maher. Marking a slack over there. On towards Patrick Maher. Running into challenges, however. Slipping the little hand pass towards Garroyd Ryan, running into the shoulder of John Dalton, comes bouncing back out again here. Owen Kelly is foraging. 3 Kilkenny players are after him there for company, and it comes out to Cha again. He loses it to Noel McGrath. Mistakes been made. Highly entertaining match. Ball slipped forward here. One for Patrick Maher to go after. Pursued by Jackie Tyrrell. It's still Maher, and they slide into the challenge. And the referee has blown his whistle and seen a tug back, and it's going to be a free in. Good work by Patrick Maher.
It was. I think Noel McGrath was looking for Patrick Maher maybe to go a little bit earlier there. He saw the pass and he didn't get inside, and Jackie Tyrrell just leaned in over him here. But you know, just before that, Brendan Maher got the ball and he slipped it on to Patrick Maher as well, and really he should have just popped it over the bar, and he ran with it and put himself under pressure. And I'd expect maybe Seamus Callanan to come into the game fairly soon. He's flying it in training, and you know, big mobile athletic player and a great finisher. He could just turn the game.
Third top scorer for Tipperary in last year's match. He got 3 points from play in that game. Owen Kelly got 4 points in the first half, all of them from frees. And from 20 metres out, he puts it straight over the bar. No mistake at the start of this second half. And so it's Tipperary who are back in front again.
Yeah, and I think the substitutions are going to make a big difference. You know, you have the likes of Parburke, Seamus Callanan, you have Martin Comfort, maybe Richie Hogan on the other side, you know, and it could be some of those that will come on and change the game.
PJ Ryan now at college in Carlow, studying a GA course and business as well. Just finished year 1 of a 3-year course. Tucking it out towards Owen Larkin. Bounces back out here towards JJ Delaney. Neatly picked up there by Michael Fennelly. Stopped initially by Paddy Stekelum. And away it comes back up to the forwards again. Brilliantly caught by McGrath. On to Lar Corbett. They fire hurleys at him, but nobody's able to stop Lark Corbett, who's in for a second goal to delight the Kilkenny fans. One after 10 minutes, another after 42, and it's Tipperary who lead the final by 2-11 to 1-10. As he was striking it, they were firing hurleys to try and stop him, but nobody able to put paid to the gallop of the fearless Sarsfield star. He won an All-Ireland medal in 2001, and he's looking for another here. And there's a yellow card for John Tennyson, the thrower of the hurley.
But look, again, I said about Noel McGrath in the first half, the vision that he has from centre forward is unbelievable. He was going one way, switched to play with a hand pass, and Lark Corbett coming in diagonal again for a brilliant goal.
TJ Reid trying to pick the ball up, supported here by Michael Rice, dodging around, losing possession, picks it off the ground, and it's going to be a free to Tipperary, and it heats up. Pushing and shoving and jostling, and the linesman in there to try and restore a little bit of order as the mist descends on Croke Park in front of an attendance of just under 82,000, and Michael Wadding for Waterford says to them all, cool it down a little bit, lads, there's a long way to go. The fans loving it. Kilkenny here to try and win another, the historic 5 in a row. Tip have other ideas. At the beginning of this match, the Roll of Honour read Kilkenny 32 titles, Cork 30, Tip 25, and then you've got to go down to Limerick, who've got 7. Tip want another. Brendan Cummins has got a point already in this game. From inside his own 65 metres, he fires it in, they race for it, breaking down here, and Noel McGrath has found the back of the net. Another one for Tipperary. 2 minutes after Lark Corbett's second goal, Noel McGrath is on hand to steer it in past PJ Ryan, and the Tip goalkeeper is beaten for the 3rd time.
A big high ball in. I just watched Noel McGrath just coming in, and it just bounced up to him, swung the hurler, and it bounced up and he flicked it into the net.
It mightn't win goal of the year, but it might win an All-Ireland. But Kilkenny will have other ideas. Aidan Fogarty setting off. It's stolen away from him. Shoulders coming in on Gearóid Ryan. In the end, Declan Fanning knocks it away. Breeze holds it up onto the 65-metre line. Owen Kelly trying to make some inroads. Stop there. Michael Rice knocking it away for Kilkenny, who now have a battle on their hands. 7 points behind. But it's early stages of the second half. Still only 10 minutes into the second 35-minute period. Michael Cahill for Tipperary, knocking it out of defence to Gearóid Ryan, to the team who were beaten by Kilkenny in last year's final, who want to atone for that loss. It's left there for John Dalton to come on to. Little hand pass to Noel Hickey, and Hickey, the man from Dunnamaggin, down there as far as Chaff Fitzpatrick, trying to win his duel with Brendan Maher. He's left it there for Owen Larkin to take it forward, and Larkin inside towards Richie Power, went there unchallenged initially, now he's challenged and now he's fouled by Michael Cahill, and it's going to be a free in. And that's one thing that Tipperary cannot afford to do, to concede frees to men like Richie Power in situations such as this one here. This was the goal situation, availed of brilliantly by Noel McGrath, and that's the reaction of his manager Liam Sheedy. Now they're saying, use your head. This is what Henry was saying to the Kilkenny players this time last year.
Brilliant running though by Noel McGrath. You know, he travelled 50-60 yards on the chance that the ball might break to him, and that only happens maybe once in a lifetime in an Ireland final like that. And what Tipperary have to be careful of now is not to give away a few handy frees and let Kilkenny creep back into it. They're 6 points up now, and again doing all the hurling, but Kilkenny won't panic, and I'd expect maybe Martin Comfort, someone like that, to be brought on shortly.
Well, he came on last year, but how they'd love to be able to bring in Henry Shefflin. Took a gamble on his fitness, it didn't work out. Brendan Cummins pucking it out. Remember how close Tipperary came to beating Kilkenny last year, down to about the last 5 to 10 minutes. They couldn't hold out on that occasion. Can they hold out here? The Cats will have other ideas, applying the pressure. Brendan Cummins, cool as you like, and the 35-year-old knocks it back into the middle of the field once again. We're rising up for it as Brendan Maher. Collecting it as Padraig Maher. And the Mahers of Tipperary advance 45 metres out. Caught in there by Noel Hickey, the fullback for Kilkenny. looking for some support, getting it there from Jackie Tyrrell, the man who started this run in 2006 as captain that year when they beat Cork. As the play continues, there's a little row breaking out between a couple of players off the ball. Owen Larkin trying to advance. Action at both ends of the field. Referee allows play continue. It's Conor O'Mahony who has it. The centre half back linking up with Shane McGrath. The row's over. The play game continues. It's beautifully caught here by Lark Corbett, the man who's got 2 goals in the final. The man who's been fouled now, and it's a free for Tipperary. What a game.
Yeah, and what a game Lark Corbett is having. He's just, fantastic catch there. Especially there was after been, a row up in the corner involving maybe 5 or 6 players, and Lark Corbett then shows the leadership again. They're brilliant catch.
Well, while we were watching action at one end, this was what was going on at the other. Well, we didn't quite need to call for Judge Judy, but anyway, peace has been restored, and it's going to be a free. And the referee is going to have some words, I think. He's having words with Owen Kelly.
There wasn't much in it. The linesman has called the ref's attention to it. But Tipper not going to be intimidated. That Kilkenny physically very, very powerful, but Tipper standing up to him.
Well, it's Tommy Walsh is now being called across along with Owen Kelly, and no more of that, I think, says Michael Wadding. First referee from Waterford to handle an All-Ireland hurling final since 1990 when it was John Moore. So yellow cards to both players. I'll make that a total of 4 yellow cards in this year's final, 2 per team.
An interesting Noel McGrath, taking the longer frees, worked very well against Cork.
He's taken this one from just inside the 65-metre line. The wind did him no favours whatsoever. This contrary swirling breeze making it impossible for the players.
I just think Owen Kelly's experience, All-Ireland final day, he always produces the goods on the big day, and maybe let him take the frees and take the pressure off McGrath. Just let him concentrate on playing the game he's playing, which he's playing brilliantly.
Case of minimising errors and maximising opportunities at this stage. Declan Fanning under pressure from the hard-working Owen Larkin into the centre of the field where Cha Fitzpatrick gets under it. Runs on there for John Tennyson to come on to. Strongly built fellow, slipping the pass beautifully here from Michael Rice. Dangerous for Tipperary. Rice advanced, down he goes. Another moment of indiscipline by Tipperary, and there's a chance for Kilkenny to punish them emphatically. This time it's Paddy Stapleton who was being spoken to along with Paul Curran there, and the referee indicating another free in which Richie Power will take. He's got a goal and 7. Conor O'Mahony is down injured, as you can see here. He'd be a huge loss. So the medics look at him, we look at Richie Power, and that's over, and it's a goal and 8 points now for Richie Power. The 8 points have come from frees. The goal, of course, came in the first half in the 32nd minute.
Yeah, almost unbelievably, Kilkenny only scored 2 points from play. Yeah, fair collision there between. It looks like a dead leg maybe that he suffered there. But Kilkenny only scored 2 points from play, both in the first half. TJ Reid got one, Aidan Fogarty got another, and it's a long time since we've seen that. The Tipperary backs are playing brilliantly. Declan Fanning in particular is having an outstanding game at right half back.
Well, let's go down to the sideline for some comment. Marty Morrissey.
Yes, indeed, Chair. Henry Shefflin showed the first sign of concern by coming down from the substitute bench on crutches down to the dugout. And after a deep conversation, the Kilkenny management team are bringing in a double substitution, Derek Ling and Martin Comerford.
Thanks, Marty. We're watching Derek Ling and Martin Comerford just to the right there. So number 20 will be Derek Ling. He, of course, played in midfield last year. And Martin Comerford. So number 8, Cha Fitzpatrick, comes off, and number 13, Eddie Brennan, who didn't score today, is being replaced now by Martin Comerford. It now means that they have used 3 of their subs. And we've still got 20 minutes to play in this final. There's a lot of hurling to look forward to. Will it be 5 in a row, that historic target, or will Tipperary foil them this time, just as awfully foiled Kerry in football back in 1982? An intriguing next 20 minutes of sport on one of the big days in Irish sport. Kilkenny living dangerously at the back. Jackie Tyrrell advancing. Adventurously taken out eventually and slipped in here as far as John Tennyson. The Cats looking for scores. It's got to drop short. Out comes Brendan Cummins. Oh, the hand pass goes to TJ Reid. What was he doing? And it's gone over the bar. TJ Reid's got a point from play, just a third for Kilkenny in this match. He's got 2 of the points from play, but Brendan Cummins had time here, hand passed it to a couple of players who were being well marked, and the initiative is swinging this way and that.
Yeah, it was just a big casual there. We saw this in the first half. Tip were 6 points up, and next thing Kilkenny had it back to a point, and they were 7 up, and now we're back to 4 points again.
And back comes Patrick Maher, the man in the white helmet, number 11 in there. Tommy Walsh trying to get it up onto his stick, waiting for it. Lark Corbett, number 15, in the end it's picked up by Jackie Tyrrell, and Tyrrell sets off. He's meant to be left corner back. He has a go from a huge distance, still in play. It's dangerous. Aidan Fogarty trying to make an angle, trying to slip it back here towards TJ Reid. He's overhit it, comes out as far as Declan Fanning, and Fanning to an unmarked player, Brendan Maher. Into the inside forwards towards Lark Corbett, bounces away from John Tennyson, slipped forward once again beautifully. In here as far as Michael Fennelly, back out it comes. Michael Rice inside to TJ Reid, needing a bit of support here, and back to Declan Fanning again. Not the best of clearances. Straight out to Derek Ling, the substitute. Slipped it outside to TJ Reid, running into a lot of Tipperary players, and one of them, Noel McGrath, goal scorer earlier on, swivels around beautifully, has an opportunity to hand pass it outside, takes that opportunity with Padraig Maher on his shoulder. Back there battling is Michael Fennelly, helped out by Tommy Welch. Tommy Welch advances 65 metres out from the Tipperary goal, hits it, lets the wind carry it in, inside towards Fogarty, breaks for the goalkeeper Brendan Cummins, a good deal more careful this time with his clearance. He has 3 players to aim at, one of them Shane McGrath. 19 minutes into the second half, broken down. Kilkenny trying to pick up the initiative again in the middle of the field. Again it's Jackie Tyrrell, 10 and a half minutes since Tipperary last scored. Tyrrell's going forward again, got a point in last year's match, on as far as Derek Ling, and it's gone over the bar. Well, he can be the catalyst in their revival. Derek Ling's first points since being introduced.
Gerard, what a passage of play, unbelievable, up and down the field. And look at the substitutions now. Martin Cornford, Derek Ling, Richie Hogan gone in there now, and Kilkenny 7 points down, back to 3 again. They're just some team, they've won so much, and yet the hunger is still there. And Tipperary playing brilliantly, but they haven't scored now in a long time. They really need a score to settle them again.
Well, Richie Hogan's on, Taggy is off, otherwise Aidan Fogarty scored 1 point in the first half. Had an opportunity there to set something up a few minutes ago, and I think the patience of the selectors just wore thin. And they're in decisive mood, the men on the line, Brian Cody, Martin Fogarty and Michael Dempsey. They want to win this, they want their piece of history. 5 in a row has never been done in hurling or in football. It's a 3-point game. Tipperary looking for a score, looking for a forward attack, and Paddy Stapleton goes down, and the referee is going to call across one of the Kilkenny players for that challenge.
Yeah, it's Jackie Tyrrell. I was just going to say, in the last 10 minutes, really, he's been brilliant for Kilkenny, winning every ball, driving up the field, showing that leadership, and that yellow card goes back. He was, it was a silly free to give away. There was no danger there, and this is a big free now for Tip, and I expect Owen Kelly to take it after Noel McGrath missing the last one.
Well, at this stage in the match, Michael, with 15 minutes to go, it'll be all very well to be, those with honours degrees in hindsight and retrospection at 5 o'clock, but right here and now, at this stage, Kilkenny will fight might and main to win the 5 in a row, to keep their record intact. And Tipperary, well, they are once again tantalisingly so close.
Yeah, I think they need to bring in a couple of subs. Seamus Callan and Par Burke, they need to be introduced now. I think Patrick Maher, hasn't hit a ball. Tommy Walsh really coming into the game.
Conor O'Brien is being prepared. John O'Brien.
That's probably for Conor O'Mahony, who's injured. Was
that a double yellow?
But look, I don't know what the chance of me getting a degree at this stage of my life, but Owen Kelly, this free is huge. I think with 15 minutes to go, there were 7 points up, it's now 3, and if he can put 4 between them, it gives them a little bit of breathing space, but it's going to go right down to the last whistle. It's going to be close all the way.
So here it comes. 5 points so far from frees. Middle of the park, 60 metres out from the target. Needs to be accurate. It's spot on. Owen Kelly has got another one to blow it out to a 4-point difference once again. And Conor O'Brien is coming in, and he's coming in as a replacement for Conor O'Mahony, who clearly is feeling the effects of that injury.
Yeah, Pádraig Maher gone to centre back, Conor O'Brien onto the wing. He'd be maybe better known as a corner back. So, you know, big task on Martin Comfort now for the last 15.
Pressure on Paddy Stapleton once again here as it breaks back out. The back's having a lot to do. Richie Power looking threatening every time he's anywhere near that ball. Well, of all the subs to be introduced, I don't think Conor O'Brien would have been expected to be the first in off the bench there for Tipperary. There were other options, as you mentioned, Seamus Callanan a couple of times.
Yeah, I do think Kilkenny will need another goal if they're going to win this match. I don't see them scoring 5 or 6 points now. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I think they need a goal if they're going to get back into it.
Brendan Maher. That's missed by Noel McGrath. Still they battle. Picked up beautifully here. Neat play. Cross here as far as TJ Reid. Letting it fly and putting it sailing between the bars once again.
Yeah, he's having
for TJ Reid.
He's having a super game again. You know, three points in play on the line ball, and he's having a brilliant game and carrying on his great form for Ballyhale during the year.
So Seamus Callanan is on, and John O'Brien is the one who makes way.
Yeah, this guy can be very, very explosive. He gets some great goals, and you know, Tip will be hoping he can do something different, special, just to turn the tide, because Kilkenny are way on top in the last 15 minutes.
Michael Fennelly doing brilliantly. Once again, knocking it down there into space. Covering that space is Michael Cahill, playing his heart out at left cornerback into Pádraig Maher. Now, as you say, at one of his best positions, I think, centre half back. Played there in the league final last year against Kilkenny. That match went to extra time. Who knows how this one is going to go, as Seamus Callanan introduces himself by putting it over the bar. What an introduction. First touch, first shot, brilliant use of possession. Well, he's pumped up, the Tipperary fans are pumped up, and they've got a lead of 4 points here.
A great play by Garrod Ryan, who's actually having a very good second half on JJ Delaney, who dominated in the first half, but he's winning some great ball there and he laid it off, and that's what Callanan does. You know, he's been in great form in training. And
John Dalton okay. Puck out by PJ Ryan. Oh, what a catch by Michael Fennelly. Brilliantly done. Hooked superbly there. There's tremendous skill in this match, even in the adverse weather conditions, as Owen Larkin takes off past Paddy Stapleton. Dangerous for Tipperary. They bottle him up. They group around him. And in the end, Paul Curran comes out, plays superbly as a fullback, gets it away out to Declan Fanning. We're nearly 60 minutes into the contest, 10 to go. Who's going to win the 2010 All-Ireland Hurling Final? Lark Orbit, it's going right, it's not on target, and it's gone wide.
Yeah,
and that's 4 wides now for Tipperary.
Seamus Callanan loose inside there. All they needed was a little flick in over the top. But great play by Paddy Stapleton in the last play. Owen Larkin carried the ball 40-50 yards. Paddy Stapleton stayed with him all the way and flicked the ball off his hurl. A vital interception.
Well, Brian Cody has made 4 changes to his forces. Tip have made 2 at this stage. Kilkenny need the ball. Inside towards Richie Power again. Goalkeeper holds securely, and Brendan Cummins sweeps it out, but only as far as Michael Fennelly. Drops it down. Garrod Ryan got a little nudge there. Tucked it away from Fennelly. Sweeps it away down. Lark Corbett couldn't hold on to it. Comes back out to JJ Delaney, standing 65 metres out from his own goal. Intervening there was Michael Cahill, coming across, about to be challenged by TJ Reid. Slipped it out to Pádraig Maher for Tipperary, and Tipperary advance again, and it's up towards Seamus Callanan once again, looking for another score. What a point! What a superb score! 2 brilliant points by Seamus Callanan. That's absolutely superb play. And there are 5 points between the teams.
Yeah, that's brilliant hurling, Gerard. Michael Cahill, who's having a great game at cornerback. Little flick onto Pádraig Maher, and first time ball up the wing, and Callanan showing his pace and off his left side. A brilliant score.
Back with the action here. Garrod Ryan can't take your eye off this for a moment. Been played at nearly 100 miles an hour. Up it comes towards Noel McGrath. McGrath waiting. teasing Kilkenny. That's a very ambitious ball, too ambitious by far, but it might still work out for Tipperary because Brendan Maher's gone in, taken it. Oh, that looked to be a foul there by John Tennyson.
Oh, that's definitely a free in.
Well, he looked to have got Lar Corbett there, but the referee didn't blow his whistle.
Yeah, definitely. Just watch here. John Tennyson just pulled Lar Corbett to the ground there. Definitely a free in. And just there again, Seamus Callan was loose again. The energy he's shown since he come on is unbelievable.
Another change here. Benny Dunn has just come on for Tipperary, and I think it is it Garroyd Ryan who's gone off? TJ Reid's also coming off.
That's a strange one, I think, after scoring.
So Benny Dunn has come on. Well, Benny will want to atone for last year. You might remember he was sent off in the match last year. So Shane McGrath's gone off the Tipperary team. Benny Dunn into the middle of the park to try and seal a victory. But you can be certain the champions of the last 4 years will have other ideas. Richie Power standing over this. 65 metres out from the Tipperary goal. His team 5 points behind. 7 minutes to play. High up into the air, and it's gone left and it's gone wide. Is the 5 in a row about to slip away from all kinds of possibilities for Tipperary team, fans, mentors, everybody who supports them? Can Tipperary hold on? Will Kilkenny still prevail? An intriguing prospect for the last 7 minutes or thereabouts. Michael Fennelly. Oh, that's thrown again. The referee has blown for a throw. Second time in the match, this time against JJ Delaney. 3:14 for Tipperary, 1:15 for Kilkenny.
That's a hand pass this time. It was straight to Owen Kelly anyway.
Owen Kelly, who got the hand pass anyway, as you say, ready to take this. He's got 6 points already in the match. All of them have come from frees, all of them so highly important. And from 45 metres out, he sticks it over the bar once again.
A great performance by Tipperary so far. You know, they've got a couple of leads up, then surrendered them, and then weathered the storm and came again. And at this stage, you know, it's early to call. 6 points, great lead going into the last 5 minutes.
Well, it certainly is that, and now you get the feeling that Kilkenny are the ones who are going to need goals if they're going to try and keep that 5 in a row dream alive. It'll be analysed later, the makeup of the team and the way in which the game was approached. There were such hot favourites. Not too many people fancied Tipperary to come here and to get a victory against their great rivals. May not happen yet. There's still 5 minutes. John Tennyson to strike it. He's hit it right and he's hit it wide. It's not working out for Kilkenny. The champions have put behind their 6th wide. Liam Sheedy against Brian Cody. Tipperary against Kilkenny. Final few minutes. Tension all around the place. A sense of expectation if you're a Tipperary fan. A sense of foreboding if you're from Kilkenny. From the puck out. Brendan Maher tries to get in there. So too Patrick Maher. 2 men in white helmets. John Mulhall lobbing it down there towards Richie Hogan. Can't quite get to it. Martin Comerford can. Derek Ling trying to swing it across here over towards Owen Larkin. Again Richie Power trying to advance, and Power has it. He's got a chance and he's put it over the bar. They were looking for a goal, but it's a goal and 9 for Richie Power. Will he finish, however, on a winning team?
Yeah, got a strange decision there. You know, there's 6 points now. I think he should have went for the goal anyway.
Well, he didn't go for it, and Brendan Cummins will breathe a sigh of relief. beaten just once. Referee says, hurry it up, Brendan. As you can see on the clock, almost 67 minutes gone. Held on to again here by Jackie Tyrrell. Oh, poor clearance, straight to Padraig Maher, advancing with purpose. Looking for a support player. Lark Corbett came to him but couldn't quite take it. In the end, it's JJ Delaney. These teams have battled some great matches in recent times. Michael Rice on as far as Richie Hogan. Hogan, the 22-year-old, tries to get free, looks for another score, but again, 3 Tipperary men around him. John Mulhall has never scored in the championship. He might get a point here. He has now. John Mulhall, who is Kilkenny's 5th and final sub. There's another change, and it's David Young who's come on. Well, what was he doing there?
He could be gone off again.
Certainly could.
Just ran straight in. It was not opening list, we just ran straight into Owen Lark and turned him upside down.
Just in the action a couple of seconds. Well, I know he was pumped up, but he should have been a bit more careful than that. He gets himself a yellow card. 2 minutes to go. Just wonder how much stoppage time there will be. We'll have another sub shortly. Seamus Hennessy will be introduced as well, and that'll be the 5th sub for Tipperary. Now it's a case of holding out. They've looked comfortable enough. Kilkenny a bit disjointed, not their usual fluent self. As Michael Rice knocks it away down, Comerford rises for it, looks to see where did it go. It went to a Tipperary man, and they have it again. Curran slips it out here towards David Young, loses his way. In to help comes Garroyd Ryan. We're in the 69th minute. Padraig Maher can't hold it. Coming on to take it there, Michael Rice, looking for a support player. Michael Fennelly has a go from a distance, and he's put it wide. It's just not Kilkenny's day. A very dangerous thing to say when there's still a few minutes to play, but it's looking like the 5 in a row is gone. Tipperary making another change. It's looking good for Tipperary. They haven't won since 2001, when Brendan Cummins was part of the team which beat Galway on that afternoon. Tommy Dunn was the captain. 4 points the margin. Have we spoken too soon? Is there a chance yet for Kilkenny? Here's Michael Fennelly. Out to Mulhall. Blocked down well. Good combination of players. And again, swept away into the forwards. Almost anywhere will do at this stage. Just seconds to go to the end of the 70 minutes, and then a case of how many minutes will be added on. Noel McGrath, there'll be 3 additional minutes. It's still possible for Kilkenny. PJ Ryan, they've wasted a number of opportunities with their last 3 or 4 attacks, and David Young wins this one and battles to keep it away from Michael Fennelly. He slips it in there. Once again they hold the possession, and Benny Dunn sees it drop over the crossbar. What a difference 12 months can make to a team and to a player. This time last year he was sent off in the final. He's come on as a sub today, and with his first shot at the target he's put it over the bar and put 5 points between them. Seamus Hennessy has a go again, and surely now there is no way that Liam Sheedy's Tipperary can be deprived of the Liam McCarthy Cup for 2010.
And we talk about the substitutions, you know, of Kilkenny over the years. Seamus Callan has got 2 points, Benny Dunn has got a point, Seamus Hennessy's got a point. And you know, over the last 12 months I think Tip have learned an awful lot about their panel, and their manager has matured, and they know they have it now. And a fantastic performance by Tipperary on the day. And this man Padraig Maher, since he was in centre back maybe 15 minutes ago, he's been absolutely outstanding.
What an achievement by Liam Sheedy, to get back into the final 2 years in a row. I remember saying at the end of last year's final that I thought there was a win in Kilkenny in the All-Ireland Championship. I thought it might be next year, and that would be difficult enough to do, but Brian Cody will be the first to acknowledge that Tipperary were the better team this afternoon. He got it right. Most of the attention was on Henry Shefflin and the knees and the 5 in a row and all the rest of it. Tipperary kept nice and cool, just as John Dalton is right now, getting that ball away, but only delaying the inevitable. Padraig Maher will be hoping to lead Tipperary's under-21s on Saturday next to another All-Ireland victory, boosted by this one here, as that ball is caught inside there by Padraig Maher, and it's swept in the end, and it's finished in the back of the net. And there is another one for Tipperary and for Liam Sheedy. And Lark Corbett has got a hat-trick in the 73rd minute. This is how he finished it off. Maher played it to him, and Lark Corbett with 3 to make it 4-17 to 1-17, and it's a terrific day for the Premier County. They are the premier hurling team in Championship hurling this year, no question or doubt about it, as Michael Cahill pucks it out. A few seconds of the 3 minutes of added time to be played. Kilkenny a well-beaten side at this stage. Michael Rice with a final shot over the bar, his only point in this game, but too little, far too late. All eyes now on the referee. Michael wanting to blow in just a couple of seconds. Possibly this next puck out will signal celebrations like you haven't seen for a long, long time. It's all over, and Tipperary have won the All-Ireland dramatically. A superb, fantastic display by Liam Sheedy's team, and the 5 in a row has been banished once again. It has proved to be a target too great for Kilkenny, as it was for Kerry back in 1982. Brian Cody, magnificent manager that he is, he has lost an All-Ireland final here in what was his 10th time to take a team to the final on the first Sunday in September. But it is the Tipperary fans and team and mentors who deserve to celebrate for a long, long time. Very few people rated their chances. It was all about the drive for 5, but they've been foiled, and Owen Kelly has led the Premier men from Tipperary to win the Liam McCarthy Cup and take the title for the 26th time.
Yeah, Jaron, I have to say, Owen Kelly you just mentioned, I'm absolutely thrilled for him. An outstanding Tipperary captain, a lovely guy, and Tipperary, Liam Sheedy as well, a lovely sound management team, and Owen Kelly has been there since 2001 trying to get back and win this All-Ireland, and a brilliant display by Tipperary. I said before the game, can 521s, is it too many on the team? And that youth now with 5 more in the subs, like Tipperary are going to be looking forward to great years ahead of them now. And Liam Sheedy, if it shows you how fine the line sport is, if he lost today, would he be there? There's Brian Cody. And what about Kilkenny? The outstanding team of all time, in my opinion. It won't change after today, but they had to be beaten sometime, and it's great they were beaten in such a great game after such a great performance. And there's Henry Shefflin, facing maybe surgery again now on that knee. But what a final, what a performance, 4-17, and just you have to take your hat off to Tipperary, worthy champions, and it took them 3 hard years to get there and get that win today, and well done to them.
Yeah, they've had some fantastic matches with Kilkenny in recent years. I remember 2 great games last year, the All-Ireland final, the league final, but now this trophy, which was presented out on the field in 2001 to Tommy Dunn when Tipper lost the victors. Now it's going to be presented in the Hogan stand. The fans are staying in their places. This is what everybody has hoped for.
But they say, to win one, you have to lose one. And Tipperary have proved that all night. They're back today, a wonderful team performance and a tremendous victory. I'd like to thank the referees officials for the one they had in the game, and now it gives me great pleasure to present trophy, the Bugatti Cup, to our standing Mullinholm man, outstanding Tipperary man, Owen Kelly.
On a great day for Tipperary, Christy Cooney, the GA president, hands over the cup to Owen Kelly, the Premier County of the top county in hurling for 2010. What a day to be a Tipperary hurling fan. A ticker tape reception in their places. This is what everybody has hoped for. It's a Tipperary victory. Some tremendous hurling in today's match as we go down to Marty Morrissey.
This moment on your thoughts on winning the 26th All-Ireland.
I'm just so proud of this bunch. In all they've given me for the past 3 years in terms of the efforts, the commitment and the honesty. We were gutted here last year and you know we said we'd do that. And maybe somewhere along the journey people doubted us. I never doubted this group and thankfully today they get a just reward.
Thank you, Liam Sheedy. Let's go up to the steps of the Hogan stand to hook the long coming across Gale, Christy Cooney, who present the Liam McCarthy Cup to the winning All-Ireland captain of 2010, Owen Kelly.
What a day to be Kilkenny or Tipperary fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Commonwealth Cascade, could I happily congratulate...
On a great day for Tipperary, Christy Cooney, the GA president, hands over the cup to Owen Kelly, the Premier County of the top county in hurling for 2010. What a day to be a Tipperary hurling fan. A ticker tape reception. Well, this is what we wanted to see, an opportunity to properly celebrate the captain receiving the cup. People staying in their places, enjoying the moment, savouring the occasion. And Owen Kelly from the South Division of Tipperary, the first man from that division to take the cup. Brian Cody and the others, Jackie Tyrrell, bitterly disappointed. It wasn't to be. The most brilliant team I've seen in hurling, beaten this afternoon, but beaten by Tip.
Kahili, Adina Usta, August Luke Dimaneka, Tana Sorman, Colin Shaw, Erdu, Edson Fern, August Winter, Tipperary. It's a great honour for me as a Tipperary man to accept the Liam McCarthy Cup on behalf of a massive, excellent Tipperary squad and the people of Tipperary. A long journey that probably started not this year, but I go back as far as 2008 when this squad got together. I'd like to think that we created our own identity. Our characters and our personalities came true, not only today, but in the last 3 years. To this, I'd like to say a special thanks to our coach and our selector. The most professional man I'd say any team could have. Coming all the way from Galway in the last 3 years. Kieran McDonough's man, Eamon O'Shea. This Tipperary squad was made up of massive honesty the last 3 years. The next selector I'd like to thank played as honest as any Tipperary hurler in the past. Anytime we spoke to the team, it was pure honest, and his style of play has really rubbed off on us. I'd like to thank, from Upper Church, Michael Ryan. All those things I've already mentioned: professionalism, honesty, organisation. The next man, what can any of us say, guys? He came in when the ship was sinking. But by God, is this ship sailing today? All the way from Portroe. All the way from Portroe. our Messiah, our leader, Liam Sheedy. I'm not here today without paying compliments to definitely one of the best teams, not only in hurling, but in any sport that we have seen in this generation. The Kilkenny team, your humble guys on the field, your humble guys off the field. What you have achieved the last 4 years to your management, your county board, and above all to yourselves is exceptional. And with that, I'd like to wish you 3 cheers. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. We're looking forward to the party in Turner's tomorrow night.
Owen Kelly lifting the cup at the end of a memorable speech. I think he covered everybody and anybody in Croke Park. It's Tipperary's day. They are the champions.